After almost 30 years of competitive boxing, becoming world heavyweight champion, not just once, Wladimir Klitschko is taking on a different road. Besides becoming an athlete, he also became an entrepreneur, a motivator, a hotelier, an investor, even a scientist, and much more, as he says himself. Always right next to him, Tatjana Kiel, who is the CEO of Klitschko Ventures, founded in 2016. In her role, her job is to take care of the second career of Wladimir Klitschko. They both believe that willpower is the strongest force, both in business and in life. Therefore, they've created a method called Face the Challenge. Face the Challenge is a method that can apply to both young and old people, professional and private, and should enable the willpower and belief of people. In this session, they will share their insights and expertise, and hopefully they will also teach us how to foster resilience and increase mental strength. A very warm welcome to Wladimir Klitschko and Tatjana Kiel.
Hello.
Thank you so much for your time, and we are very excited that you're here today. To start off, maybe, Wladimir, let's have a short look into the past. Can you maybe give us an idea of what your career has taught you and what principles you've learned that were interesting enough to create the Face the Challenge method out of it? So what were your greatest insights in your boxing career?
Yeah, thanks for having us with Tatjana, and I'm really excited about this short interview. To answer the question, what I've learned in my first career as an athlete, which I've been practicing almost for 3 decades, to be exact, 27 years. I've learned mostly importantly, more and precisely more about myself. Who am I? What am I capable of? What can I do? What I cannot do or not so well? And I think that's crucially important to actually know yourself. And it takes time to know yourself, especially you're getting to know yourself through stressful situations, as we call it, when you're getting out of your comfort zone. Then you really learn about the world and about yourself. The other thing that I've learned as an athlete is willpower is the strongest force that a human owns. And willpower you can develop. Methodically, systematically, sustainably, you can develop willpower, and willpower will save you in different challenging situations, and it will actually help you to face your challenges and show face to your challenge and not run from your challenge and show back. So that's, as an athlete, I've got to know, and that actually helps me to succeed in my next career. I don't want to count in the numbers. I just love the matter of fact to call it next career. Who knows how many careers I'm going to have or we're going to have in our lives. And obviously, there are principles of the method that are in F.A.C.E, that is focus, agility, coordination, and endurance, F.A.C.E. So those principles helped me to be successful in sport, in very competitive sport, and same principles people can use or need to use in their life. It doesn't matter what they do. They're politicians, athletes, musicians, you name it. So you need the same principles. And not to forget that life is a long chain of challenges, and you need to always show face to your challenge and challenges. And you getting to know yourself, as I said previously, who you are. So the bigger the challenge, the better you get. Just don't run from it and take it as it is. And I do strongly believe that willpower definitely as a foundation will help you to be in the end of the story or your career with success. And that is what is actually all important for us. We just, if we do something, we want to succeed and want to get the fruits of our work, which obviously with obsession, great focus, agility, coordination, endurance will help you to get and achieve those goals.
And in general, which role does mental health play in business and in sports, in your opinion?
Please say again the question.
Which role does mental health play in sports and in business, in your opinion?
Absolutely. Mental health, I mean, it all starts here. And if you control your mind, you control everything. And it is crucially important to have duality, brain and power, extremely important. So if you're missing one of those two, you cannot succeed in your life. So it is very important who is holding the gloves. So you're holding the gloves, or in this case, I'm holding the gloves. And without your mental strength, and you continually developing your mental strength through challenges. And as it mentioned before, the bigger the challenge, the better you're gonna get. And even if you fail, your willpower will help you to rise up and keep on punching, as we say it in boxing. So is in life. It's pretty much the same. And there is no one else, but I choose in what kind of mood I'm going to be today, tomorrow, in a year. It's my choice how I want to succeed and no one else. It sounds a little bit egotistical, but it's not narcissistic. Please don't understand me wrong. And it's all your choice, because you need to understand that you are the driving force and no one else. As soon as you're going to get it, you're going to succeed in whatever it is, whatever challenge you're going to face.
Looking at the both of you, how important was having a team behind your back in your career, and especially with one very important team member sitting with us, Tatjana? Why did you choose to work so closely with Tatjana? What did she bring to the table?
Well, self-made man doesn't exist. And I like, if anyone is going to say I'm the self-made man or woman, it's not true, because parents of that person have actually created the person, the self-made man, so to speak. And team, allies are extremely important in life. I cannot imagine to function without allies. And there could be temporary, or like in long term, there could be my competitors. I don't want to call them enemies, but competitors. And we know that in economics, it's called when you actually, with your competitor, you're stepping in the same room and you try to develop something together. So it's called not just cooperation, but as well as examples in sport. Anthony Joshua, the current heavyweight champion, was my sparring partner and ended up being in my training camp, helping me get better in my next upcoming fight and defend my titles. Eventually, we knew that eventually we're going to see each other as opponents in the ring, but he did help me to achieve my goal back then to get better and well prepared me for my upcoming challenge. So eventually we end up competing with each other in the ring. And in this competition, as in economy, it's called competition instead of competition. So it's exactly competition. So we helped each other to get better. I defended my titles, and eventually we end up competing in the boxing ring. So in economy, we see how, for instance, Tesla is really conquering the world with their vehicles, full electric vehicles. And we see how, like in Europe or in Germany, in this case, how local brands, and there are many car producing brands, are changing into the electric cars. And it's really, really, really difficult for them to keep up the speed because the whole world is changing tremendously. And now there are competitors like from before now cooperate together to, for instance, install charging stations where only cars with the same plug in manufacturing are getting together, even though there are competitors in reality economically considering it, but they all compete against Tesla in this case. So it's just very interesting to observe it and see how things really transforming from life of an athlete into the economy, into the brands, and such great global companies. And we could see pretty much everywhere.
Why did you choose Tatjana as your CEO of Klitschko Ventures? So what did she bring to the table?
Now with Tatjana Kiel is my ally and has been for a very long time. We know each other for a long time, and we've been working closely since 2007. And she was with me in my first career as an athlete, and she knows the background. And I remember back then, Tatjana, I asked you, like, listen, I'm the front man. I'm in the front, and I cannot collect all of this expertise that I have. Can you please transform it sustainably, systematically transform it for me? And eventually we ended up creating something that we can pass in the future and pass to the next generations and pass to the people that want to make out of their problems in life challenges and get a grip. And now, after 5 years of our intensive work, and Tatjana has been getting more skills of being very successful CEO. She's the CEO of Klitschko Ventures, and she's co-creator of Face the Challenge as a method. And I just cannot imagine to have a better sparring partner. I'm sorry to call you a sparring partner, Tatjana. We're never going to end up in the boxing ring, but you are my sparring partner. And hopefully you're going to be for a very long time without bloody nose or bruises, obviously, if we speak about sparring partners. But it's great to have a sparring partner on the mind level, and that I have in Tatjana. And I love, matter of fact, that Tatjana is a female. So we do have different mindset up. And we do have a lot of things different that we've done in our life. And I think that's just opposites attract. And I believe in this case, because we have created something academic as well, if we talk about methodology, it really makes it adjustable, not just for men, but for women. And so male and female in this case, because sometimes you're trying to address a topic and you obviously talking to particular side. I mean, either it's, for instance, probably from my side, it's going to be more male. And then, of course, if Tatjana speaks, then obviously she's going to be heard from female side. And I think this combination is gold. So it's great. And I'm really happy to have Tatjana Kiel as my ally in my professional life.
And I think I bring something more to the table, and that is that I really live F.A.C.E. I mean, we literally brought something out from Wladimir, and I always felt that I live it too. So yes, exactly. That was my biggest challenge so far, I would say, to transform a life story into a philosophy and to transform a practice into a, let's say, theory. We, as Klitschko Ventures, gathered and compiled what is diverse and dispersed, and we wanted to systemize it, and we wanted to understand what is instinct and what is already a habit from Wladimir. And as the CEO of Klitschko Ventures, I, with our team together, we transform now this method into education and consulting formats and into products and also solution formats. And I want to say, for me, a team is like a lucky bunch. We call it a bunch of people with obviously different expertises, different opinions and views. And this is, for me, the real diversity. Wladimir talked about diversity because it's, we call it now superwoman, and we are all superwomen, obviously. But if we talk about diversity, I would say that is what it is. It is all about a good mix.
And what are some examples? Maybe you can share some examples of the F.A.C.E method that you could have used before Klitschko Ventures if you would have known about it.
Actually, I work now with Wladimir for 15 years. So I would say that I always had something inside of me that I would call, I am very good in endurance. But I think right now what I can use in my career, first of all, I would call myself lucky because I did not only use or used F.A.C.E as a method, but I saw it with Wladimir and then I felt it. That was why I become obviously so obsessed to make it accessible to everyone, because I realized how it helped me and I wanted to give that also to anybody who's open for it. And I realized that willpower means implementation energy, and that is a totally different understanding of what the most people think about willpower, actually. For me, it's the best source one can have in difficult situations. That's what we call a challenger mindset. We all need a challenger mindset, obviously in these times even more than in others. And learning that from someone who is the embodiment of that was, for me, one of the biggest things I could have seen and learned and feel. Why do I think F.A.C.E is a promising approach? Wladimir said it, because it works for all types of challenges. It doesn't matter if it's private or if it's personal. It doesn't matter if you're young or old or a woman or a man or a CEO or a trainee. Because you can use F.A.C.E like a tool. You can use it for a day or for a project or for a week or for a year, for something you really want to plan for a next goal. I think one of the biggest values we now saw, and that is what I see, and that is what I love about it, that F.A.C.E, and probably that is our USP, and that is what we see now, that it's content neutral. Wladimir does not say, live like him, become me, or something like that. He always would say, I have a method, I have expertise, I have a framework that can help you to achieve your challenge, or even to understand that you need another challenge so you become a next you, right? So I think that is the first step, to understand that there is a method, but also there is an individual challenge, and that's 50-50, and that's the perfect fit. And that's why we choose this cover. We say 50% is from us, and that is from Wladimir giving to you. But the other 50% is your challenge you have to bring, because otherwise it's not gonna work. Yeah.
And from your perspective, as you're working with topics such as mental health every day, how has the importance of mental health changed during the pandemic?
I think crisis in general always means losing something. Means loss of orientation, loss of reference points, and loss of trust, even to yourself. And we all felt that Corona is something like a cannibal. It cannibalized our future somehow, And what I see is that people are not really able to imagine what comes tomorrow, because we are just talking about this one topic. And that's why many people rightly asked about what happens with me, what happens with my family, what happens with my job, what happens with the economy, I think Corona makes it really, really difficult makes life really difficult. Corona is actually like, we call it always like gravity, We feel like it pushes us to the ground and makes us very immobile. And that is why we see, and that's why we talk about willpower so much, because with willpower, you are able to look ahead and you can walk again and you can feel again. And you hopefully start to become the driving force in your lives again. And that's what we always claim. That is what we want for the other people to make that happen. And that is obviously why we wrote this book, to help people become more resilient, mentally stronger, and fit to fight Corona. But tomorrow it's probably another challenge. Corona is today, but tomorrow might come something else. And we want them to reopen the doors of their future.
Last but not least, to end this on a more positive note, what are some practical tips you can give our audience they can easily implement in their everyday life from your F.A.C.E. Challenge book?
I would start with the first one. Obviously, we have smaller and bigger ones. We try to find something that you can really use on an everyday basis. So my tip number one is, Wladimir said it before, next career. So don't try to create or find your best you. That is what many other people are claiming outside in the moment, because we don't believe that this exists. Instead, define your next you. Look for the next step in your personal development.
Wladimir, anything you want to add to that?
Well, we are animals of habits. And if we get used to do certain things, we just don't even think about it. We just do it. And there are good habits and there are bad habits, not to forget about that. So I'm talking about good habits right now. So, and I believe, well, to improve your life and to get a grip on your problems and turn them to challenges, obviously you need to get more and better, face the challenge as the method. But to say it simply, like change your routines, get out of your comfort zone, get into the challenge zone. And for instance, if your office is on the 92nd floor, just stop taking the lift. Just walk the stairs up to the office or down. Brush your teeth instead of right hand with left hand, or the other way around. So just whatever the routine is, change it, and you definitely will be challenged with that. And your mind will flex the muscles, so to speak, not the actual muscles, but mind muscles. And you definitely will find more of yourself and you get to know yourself better. And obviously you will find loopholes if they're there, or create some to actually get other way and think differently and think out of the box, so to speak. And I believe if you step out one more time, step out of your comfort zone, you will know better yourself and you will create the world and see the world under a different light.
Tatjana, Wladimir, thank you so much again for the interview and your time. Many greetings to Hamburg. And to our audience, we have a little surprise up our sleeve. You now have the chance to win a copy of F.A.C.E. Challenge, the book. Just drop us an email with the answer to the question that's shown on the slide that is coming up next. My name is Chloe Lau, editorial team of Forbes, and thank you so much for watching.
Keep on punching.